Alright, y'all. I'm gonna do this one, and this one's called The Forgotten Invisible Black Man. And what made me come to do this, because I do a lot of history reading. I do a lot of watching the news and different sources of news, not just your mainstream media. But I just sit back and watch all the movements come out. LGBT, Me Too, and all of these movements, and supposed to be civil rights movements and everything. But through it all, like, you watch all of these movements and throughout time and legislation, and the black man is forgotten in everything. Because if you think about civil rights, that was more of a black thing. That was more of a black men thing, and then it shifted towards women, feminism, and they always take the focus off of what the root of it is. And even with Me Too, that started with black women, and that been shifted and taken away from black women to the man-looking bitch that got Bill Cosby time. But the black man through it all has been persecuted, has been a victim of all kind of injustice in America, from jobs to war on our family, our being stereotyped, and we're just we're forgotten and invisible to society. Like, nobody understands what a black man goes through in America, and not even just America, this whole world. You know what I'm saying? We go through a lot. You know, like, let's just look at it. Like, you get back into slavery, you know, you're a man with a family and kids, and then you have these invaders come in and they take your land, they kill you, they rape your women, and then you move fast forward to America, you get here, they demeanor you. They got a thing called buck breaking, where they was making black men, the white men, slave masters, was having sex with the black men in front of the women to kill their masculinity. And just throughout time, just atrocity after atrocity and warfare on black men as an image, you know, and nobody gives a fuck. And it's sad to say that white America, Europeans throughout time have even been so successful with it that they have been able to turn the family against the black man, the woman against the black man. You know, like, let's do a scenario. Just imagine in slavery, and when slavery was going on, and if a black man had a wife and a family, you know, the white man, them white slave on them white men was taking pussy. Let's be honest. They was fucking black women. That's how a lot of us end up light-skinned. It wasn't because the black women was giving up the sex. They was picking who they want to have sex with them. Then the woman has to go back to her husband, her boyfriend or whatever, and be like, why wasn't you there? Why didn't you protect me? And, you know, like, so that turned the black woman against the black man and the family. And then there's been warfare on masculinity, this homosexual agenda. There's been warfare as in all black men are thugs and gangsters and killers and rapists and women beater. When we look at it, that's 100% false. If you know black history and African history, you know, black men was never oppressor of black women. That's a European thing. Black men, you gotta think, there was queens in Africa that was running empires. There was women that was running militaries, whole armies in Africa. You know, so we never been oppressor to a woman. That is a European thing. European men have a complex of where they think that they must oppress everything besides European men. You know, they oppress their women, they oppress people of different color, but we take on the image, you know what I'm saying? And then, like I said, you fast forward to time, like, you have we still hold that image as being negative, being thugs, killers, and not worth shit players, and we just want to fuck a whole bunch of hoes, and that's not the case. There's a whole bunch of professional brothers out there that have a problem finding quality women because of our images been destroyed so much. You know, And it's hard, like, we have to go the extra mile just to prove our worth. And that's even if the woman wants to hear us out. You know what I'm saying? So then we got Willie Lynch, we got Jim Crow laws, you know, where they destroyed the black family, basically turned the black woman against the man. And then the feminism did that also, because they put in a black woman's mind that I don't need a man. And black women teamed up with white women and not realizing that while you over here with this white woman screaming, I don't need a man, that bitch got a man. She's turning you against your family and your man, and the motherfucker that loves you, psyching you out. So, but there's a warfare, and like I said, black men are so forgotten, and we're not taking them for granted. We're not considered anything. Like nobody. Like, black men within ourselves deserve reparation, you know what I'm saying, for the shit that we had to go through. And then you look at it now, the new thing is zaddy, you know what I'm saying? That's basically black women saying, and women of color saying that they're going to get them a white daddy, you know what I'm saying? And that's the kind of a slap in the face, because like I said, back in slavery, them white men was taking pussy, you know what I'm saying? They was oppressing they white women. And the white woman knew that he was at nighttime, he's slipping out of the house and going and fucking the slaves and shit like that. So, you think back in slavery, the white man has he's oppressing his women. They can't vote, they can't say have a word and whatever. Then he's having his way with the women, raping women around the world. Like, let's think about all the Christian crusades. They weren't going into Australia and just killing people, and they was raping women. They didn't go into Africa and just killing people. They was raping women. Then when we got to America, they wasn't just good slave masters. They was raping women. And then fast forward through time, we got the black women acting like he's that much better than us. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's a slap in the face to black men, because for centuries, they was taking y'all's pussy for y'all just to turn around and be so psychologically fucked up and thinking that he's a better man than a man that you could have, that you just give it to him willingly. You know what I'm saying? And the crazy thing about it is, y'all get y'all zaddy, but how many of y'all make it to the altar? You know what I'm saying? How many of y'all get that ring? They show you a little few. The one good chick, the mixed chick that's marrying the prince, Serena Williams. But Serena Williams is richer than her husband. You know what I'm saying? But they show y'all little images on TV to put it in y'all head psychologically that this is a better move. You know what I'm saying? But how many of y'all is actually getting that wedding ring and getting the family and whatever? And then a lot of they just psychologically fucked y'all up so much that y'all think y'all do it just because y'all want a cuter kid. You know what I'm saying? Don't get it twisted. Black men, we're guilty of sleeping with white women and whatever. But that's, I ain't gonna say it's different. It will almost be a double standard. But we're the ones that's always under fire. So for us to be able to get their woman was a kind of a slap in their face. You know, it's because that's what you got to think. The movie Birth of a Nation was a movie about putting fear in white women's heart about black men wanting to rape them and have sex with them. You know what I'm saying? So that's a whole different scenario. And then there's some fucked up black men that just think that white women are better than black women. But that's their psychological catch up. But like I said, we fast forward to today, and we got a lot of women getting these zaddies. And like I said, it's just a slap in the face, because for centuries, them men raped your grannies. You know what I'm saying? Well, now I'm not gonna say, well, they're ancestors, but you know, like a lot of times, like if much to change throughout time, racism would be around. You know what I'm saying? The spirit still, we think about the time and well, those people are dead and gone, but is the spirit still in them? We forget about the spirit, and that's where racism come from. It ain't actually the person that was doing the race, the people centuries ago. It's the spirit in the people. You know, they still have that racism spirit, but like black men are forgotten in a lot of shit, you know, and we're invisible. Like I said, nobody gives a fuck. We gotta go out there with the police. We gotta go. We try to get jobs. We get discriminated on jobs. We gotta come home to our wife shooting shots at us. Our kids shooting shots at us. Like I said, then with the Jim Crow, Willie Lynch, and the Section 8, all of that was put in place to destroy the black men, but nobody gives a fuck about what we go through. And we some strong motherfuckers, because through it all, we just thug it out. You know what I'm saying? We keep our head high, we keep going. Like I said, the whole world, they had painted to the whole world that we all thugs, killers, gangsters, robbers, rapists, murderers, no good, bad, horrible fathers, and through it all, we just keep it going. You know what I'm saying? Like, but nobody gives a fuck about that. You know, we catch shots from all sides of the spectrum. We get it from our women, we get it from our family, we get it from America, we get it from the justice system, and we just keep on and doing. But nobody, like, people gotta start. Just put yourself in that shoe and just imagine if when Tupac said "me against the world," nigga, that was official. You know what I'm saying? It is us against the world, because nobody gives a fuck how we feel about shit. Nobody. And then, like I said, the worst thing they could have ever done, and which they have been 100% successful with, is turning our women against us. And we still cool with it. Like, we still love y'all, like I said, because Jim Crow and Willie Lynch and stuff, when the black man wasn't in the house, it wasn't because he didn't want to be there. It was because he couldn't be there. Because if he can't get the job to feed the family and provide, what does he got to do? He got to go out. He gotta let her do what she can to get the government assistance, so she can feed the family, because there won't nobody hire him, or he gets discriminated. But then in the same instant, in the same notion, they pump in the black woman's head, well, he don't want to be with you, he's less of a man, and he don't want to take care of responsibility. But you forgot the factor of who's pulling the strings of why we can't get ahead as a people, why we can't, as black men. Like, who's creating the glass ceiling? And like I said, and the sad thing about it is black men have no history of really beating women. Like, if we go back in history, if we go back to Africa and African civilization, we wasn't oppressing women. A woman was the rock, you know what I'm saying? She was the household. For those that are not informed, women was very had a hell of a position in African civilization, but they made it seem like we're the monsters and we oppressed our women, when that's a European thing. Like I said, the biggest oppressors of women is European. The motherfuckers that's known for the most rapes in world history, and crusades and murders, and lightening up most civilizations that they have ever touched is European. But we get the rap. We ain't, black people as a whole, we have no history or there's no documentation that we was running around murdering and blackening up civilization. That ain't what we do. You know what I'm saying? We don't have that in our history of a people, but Europeans do. But it has, so if they have the history of all of these crusades and all of this evil shit throughout time, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, them motherfuckers wasn't just running around killing and what they was raping women and having their way with women. They was doing whatever the fuck they want, but they don't put that in the history books. Nobody's holding them accountable for that. But black men, we take all the heat for being poor fathers and just poor people, period. Like, just poor example of a man, when if the world sat back and read history books and looked at it accurately, it's not us, it's them. But the point of his videos was because we are forgotten. Black men are forgotten in everything that this world has to do. Nobody gives a fuck about how we feel. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's nothing more discouraging being a good black man that gets his money, take care of what he need to take care of, that stands on something, and then nobody gives a fuck. You know, like nobody hears you out. Nobody, especially your women, nobody gives a fuck. And like I said, we the strong, and it proves who we are. We got us children because we the strongest motherfuckers on this earth. Because after enduring all that and still holding our head high and just keep enduring and marching through and just keeping it going, we still prevail. You know what I'm saying? Like, we ain't mad at you. You know what I'm saying? Like, we could be way more better than we are. And there's some young and there's some black men just lost, but they're what you say, victims of their surroundings. You know, you can't raise a dog. If you raise a dog in a hateful home, it's gonna be a hateful dog. It's gonna be a fighter. If you raise a dog in a loving home, it's gonna be a lover. So for the black men that don't know no better, that ain't doing no better, I mean, they victims of their surroundings or their environments. So, like I said, we're forgetting about everything. Anything that has to do with civil rights, about how we feel. Nobody gives a fuck about that. Nobody gives a fuck about what the black man endures. Like I said, throughout slavery, we had to endure our women being forced upon by white slave owners, Jim Crow, not wanting to be a family and having to do what he got to do so his wife and his kids can get by, and then doing that, sucking that shit up. You know what I'm saying? As we try to keep enduring and go get a job and go to this place for applications, getting old, go to this place, getting old, get pulled over by the police, catching hell, you know, like just everything. Like, and then watching our brothers get hung from a tree, watching Emmett Till throughout time get get murdered for doing the shit to a white woman, which she admitted that was a lie later on in life, a few years ago. And we just have to endure that. And like, especially with social media, watches our black brothers get killed and just endure it. Like I said, and then to go through all that, and then on the token, our women being manipulated and told that we're no good, and they believe it and don't want to deal with us and stereotype us all off of a lie. Like, and we just endure that. Like, we endure that. We're forgotten in history and time of all the fucked up shit that went on with us. Like I said, if any black men deserve reparations like a motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? Like a motherfucker. And to this day, we still deal with it. Like, it ain't as much as it was in the early 20th century, 1900s, and all of that during slavery, but it's still there. And we notice it, and then when we call it out, everybody says that we tripping. But I can't tell a woman how it feels to be a woman. You know what I'm saying? I can't tell a white man how it feels to be a white man. But I can tell you how it feels to be a black man. And that motherfucker, and that's a hell of a road. That's a hell of a road, and nobody thinks about the shit that we have to go through.